Back in 2012, Boeing started removing inspection operations off their jobs. So it left the mechanics to buy off their own work.
The preliminary investigation into the Air India Flight 171 crash has focused on the unexpected movement of fuel control switches leading to a loss of engine thrust, though the cause, whether human error or technical malfunction, remains unclear. According to the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, both engines shut down seconds after takeoff due to fuel cutoff switches transitioning from run to cutoff positions within 1 second of each other, an action neither pilot claimed to have initiated. This incident adds to Boeing's history of safety failures, including the 737 MAX crashes in 2018 and 2019, which led to 346 deaths and exposed critical flaws in the MCAS system. Over the past 2 decades, Boeing seems to have developed a pattern. Catastrophic failures are often followed by investigations, court hearings, fines, settlements, apologies, and then what many critics claim as business as usual. The company has yet to lose major government contracts in most cases, and Wall Street rarely punishes it for long. In 2018 and 2019, 2 Boeing 737 MAX jets crashed within 5 months of each other, killing 346 people. Investigators found that Boeing had installed a flawed flight control software, MCAS, that repeatedly forced the nose of the aircraft downward without the pilots even knowing it existed. A deadly design many said was kept largely in the dark. That probably should have been a breaking point. But in January 2021, the US Department of Justice struck a deferred prosecution agreement with Boeing. A $2.5 billion settlement, no criminal charges for executives, and a promise to implement compliance reforms. The company admitted it had misled regulators but was allowed to keep its government contracts. The deal was announced quietly just before a new administration took office and just after Boeing's stock had begun to stabilize. Earlier this year, Boeing found itself once again negotiating its way out of the courtroom. This time, it agreed to pay another $1.1 billion in penalties and submit to the oversight of an independent monitor. As before, no executives were charged, and once again, markets barely flinched. The truth is, most companies don't survive 2 crashes that kill hundreds of people. But Boeing is not most companies. It is one of only 2 major commercial aircraft manufacturers in the world. It builds not only airliners, but also fighter jets, satellites, space vehicles, machinery central to both civil aviation and national security. Nearly every major airline and nearly every military depends on Boeing's supply chain. Its failure would trigger global turbulence in ways that few institutions could absorb. That level of entrenchment, however, raises a troubling dynamic. As one aviation safety official put it bluntly, when a company becomes too critical to fail, it becomes too dangerous to punish. After the MAX crashes, FAA memos revealed that regulators feared keeping the aircraft grounded would damage US aerospace exports and destabilize global supply lines. Even as internal engineers raised red flags, the urgency to get planes back in the air never wavered. And now, in the wake of Flight 171, the Dreamliner itself is once again under scrutiny. This aircraft was already the subject of quality control complaints going back more than a decade. Reports from Boeing's South Carolina plant detailed loose parts, wiring issues, and inconsistent structural joints. The company paused deliveries twice in 2021 due to FAA concerns, but planes already flying stayed in the air. Several whistleblowers spoke up. The most vocal was John Barnett, who was a former quality manager who claimed that defective parts were being installed knowingly and that internal complaints were routinely ignored. Just days before he was scheduled to testify in a lawsuit against Boeing, Barnett was found dead in 2024 from an apparent suicide. The FAA declined to reopen its inquiry. Boeing dismissed him as a disgruntled former employee. Now, with the Air India tragedy, Boeing faces another moment of reckoning. A major airline crash, an investigation pointing to catastrophic technical failure, a corporate expression of sympathy, a slight dip in share price, followed by recovery, lawsuits, many of them which may be settled quietly before they ever reach trial. The pattern is familiar, predictable, almost procedural. Unless something breaks that cycle, unless regulators, lawmakers, or prosecutors finally step off the well-worn path, the outcome is unlikely to be different.